How's it going, people? I'm Zephyros, and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to basically be a follow-on from my previous kind of like rant video. I'll be honest, with the upcoming updates about Malric's Halls of Illusion, I am hanging by like a thread, if I'm completely honest. There's a lot of discontent amongst the top level of the game, that loads of players are kind of feeling the same thing. Um, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put another video out where I give my unbridled opinion. Um, I'm just going to talk about the biggest gripes that I have with this upcoming update, and just how I think it's a complete slap in the face for a lot of the people who have really stuck by this game. So yeah, let's get into it. So the what's prompted this video, right? And I don't know if you can tell, right, but today I'm feeling like really dejected. I'm feeling quite down. Because we've had a number of our guild who have basically just said they've had enough. Um, Big one being Haha, who is currently the leader or was the leader of Mad. Um, for a lot of us, it's been a long time coming where it's just frustrations with these restrictions that are being placed on us, like the stamina limit. There was no reason to put the stamina limit on, right? But whatever. Stamina limit was done. So we were being forced to spend our gems in other ways, which I'm not keen on. Then this 200 limit of Malric's keystones, where they didn't tell us what the limit was. There was this limit, and suddenly we find ourselves in a situation where we shouldn't be farming anymore, right? This is the first time since I started playing this game 2 years ago that I've stopped farming. Like it's been like 4 days. I'm doing literally the dailies, just to get my stamina cap back down under the actual cap. Um, but aside from the dailies, I've just stopped, right? Which means in your big guilds, those Eloin packs with the like the 15 stamina pots and the 1,000 energy that you could get 3 times a day, no one's getting those packs anymore. Right, the big people who are getting those frequently, no one's getting them anymore, because why would we? Right? It makes no sense. Um, so you done that. Then you've got the limit that has really restricted. So now I'm like really cautious about doing any more because I don't want to hit that limit. I've been known for ages that I'm close. So I'm only going to do my level fours, and then what's happening in a few days, right? They are bringing out this stupid, stupid update where you have a two tries per Malric Keystone. If you fail, you fail. If your game crashes, that's a failed attempt. Right, you don't get any rewards. Right? Who whoever thought that that is a good idea? Oh my God, what is wrong with you? I I can't understand it. Cannot understand it, right? Let's break this down across the whole spectrum, right? Let's break this down across the whole spectrum. Your biggest whales and your biggest krakens, right? When they're trying to do level 5 Malric trials, Do you think we want a limit? Or do you think we want just 2 tries on that? Do you think that is realistic? Like, if you played your game, if you played your game yourself, you would know how unrealistic it is to expect someone to clear a level 5 Malric Cleystone in 2 tries. It's crazy. That's a, even level 4, right? The huge majority of your player base are not going to even come close to clearing your level 4. So forget your level 5s, right? Your level 4s. That's your whales and your crackers. Your dolphins, right? Who will have decent rosters. And I'm going to just put it out here, right? I'm someone who has a complete roster, 240 out of 240 as of today, right? I still struggle to clear these things in 2 tries. And that's with my roster. And my gear is not anything to laugh at, right? It's not anything to. My gear is tracked, right? That's my Nasia, my Alex, right? I can build full teams. That's BP. I can build full teams of solid cataclysm, wicked vengeance across all of them, right? And I still struggle. So how do you expect your average player, right? So then you come to your Dolphins, your low spenders. They're not going to stand a chance on those level 5s and most of those level 4s, right? They are not going to stand a chance. And then it comes to your low spend, your free to play. These guys don't have a hope in hell of clearing those stages, right? So you're just doing your whole player base just dirty with this change, right? It just I I don't understand the point of you having Forerunner, you having a Forerunner server, right? Because my understanding, right, was you put this content out there and gauge the feedback, right? And if the feedback is not great, take a step back and think, right, okay, we didn't get this one right. Let's just readdress this. Let's sort this out. Go back to square one and find a better solution, right? I have not found a single person who thinks that update was a good thing in Forerunner. Not a single person liked the update. Right? Everyone is getting screwed over by it. Everybody. So you need to take this back to the drawing board, right? Take your updates back to the take how you are implementing your ideas back to the drawing board, right? Because clearly you don't understand your players. You don't understand your game, right? And you are losing players, right? To make this really easy to understand, really simple, look at how the top guilds are behaving now. So for those of you who might not have actually been around that long, Mad used to have 2 guilds. We used to have Immortal Elite, who obviously still exist, and we used to have Immortal Dawn, right, who are our second guild, who were a top 5 guild when they existed, right? But what we found was that it was getting increasingly, the guild leaders found it was getting increasingly more difficult to maintain a roster of 60 good players, right? We were losing players faster than we were able to recruit the players of the caliber that we were looking for, right? And so we came to the guild leaders came to a kind of a very difficult decision to disband Dawn, right? And I was really sad with that decision because there are a lot of players who I was sad to see go, right? But we just couldn't replace everybody who was leaving, right? And then you look recently, right? You had CLSE, who used to be a top guild, who are nowhere to be seen now, right? Because again, players were leaving faster, losing interest faster than they could replace them with players who actually still wanted to play. Then you look at Dragon Slayers and you look at the Shire, right? They have now merged two of the top guilds, either the top two, top three. These are the top three, two of the top three guilds, right? They couldn't maintain their rosters and they couldn't keep up with us in Mad, so they had to merge, right? I'm glad that they at least merged because now they are a force to be reckoned with the 15 best from both of those guilds have now combined, right? So, yes, they are a phenomenal guild, but my concern is how long is it going to last if, again, they cannot maintain that full roster, same way that we are struggling to maintain the roster, right? We are losing some of our big players who have been here from the start, right? It's just so frustrating. Like, I know I'm feeling this way as well, where I'm just like, all right, I can't farm, I can't do Malrix. I'm gonna hit a limit. When I can go back to doing Malrix, you're restricting how much I can do it because you're not letting me do multiple tries of the same keystone until I perfect it, right? I just have to do the best I can within two and just take whatever rewards I get, right? So you just, what was arguably one of the best parts of the game, like one of the most interactive parts of the game, you've severely, severely restricted us, right? We're fed up. We're just, we're just fed up, right? So across the entire community, I'm getting the same sentiment. I was really shocked at the amount of response I got from the video I put out a few days ago, or like a week ago, I think now, um, talking about some of these issues. I was not expecting it, right? Where my DMs on Discord just blew up, right? Just left, right, and center, people messaging saying, I agree. I think you've said exactly what we were feeling. And then even in my comments, like hundreds of comments just about people feeling the exact same way, right? You've, as developers, it feels like you have lost sight of what made your game special, right? You have so many other gachas out there, right? Like your Raid Shadow Legends, your Ethereal Resource. There's so many others out there, right? What made yours different was, yes, was it's one is a tower defense and strategy, right? And it what you were generous with your summons were being the key phrase here, right? So those are the key things that really made Watcher of Realms stand out. Now the problem is the summoning experience is dog shit now. It's awful. It's a horrible, horrible summoning experience now. You've taken some steps to try and rectify it, but your current pity system is no way near good enough. You constantly say the thing of, yeah, it's performing as expected. Yes, we've looked at the numbers and it's where we want it to be. Whatever metrics you are using, they are wrong. They are wrong. It's just plain and simple. Whatever metrics you're using do not reflect how your players are feeling, right? I'm seeing it on a daily basis from the way people are talking, right? You have created the summoning experience has become off. Like, let's talk about your ancients, right? The ancient shards. The fact that 2 years in you still do not have a pity system on the normal ancients is ridiculous. No matter how much you say it's operating as we expected, people should not be going 400, 500, 600 summons without pulling a normal legendary hero. Right? It's stupid, stupid game. Right? Stupid system. Sorry. Right? So that your summoning experience is still awful. Right? People are pulling on the banners and getting maybe one hero out of thousands of summoned pulled. Right? So you giving more summons means jack shit if people still aren't getting heroes they want. Right? That's the first thing. Next, strategy, right? What people liked about the game was the ability to go in and try and find different ways to beat a level, find new nuances, new mechanics, try a new hero who we can use to clear this particular bit of content, right? That's what made this game special. Being able to go in and do that and tweak things and find a new way to do it. And you created this fluid content that was Malric's Halls of Illusion. That was, when it came out, I thought, this is good content. I was really happy when it came out because it was hard. It was hard and it was fluid because there were different handicaps for every stage. So you couldn't use one strategy to beat every stage. I love that. I love that. It's the best bit of content you have brought out in a long, long time in Watch of Realms, right? And then you just went and just fucked it up. It's as simple as that. You just went and fucked it up, right? Because you can't do that now. You got two tries. If I want to try a different mechanic, nah, forget it. No point. There's no point because I've only got two tries. I want my rewards. I want to get as best a reward as I can. I don't want to waste one try trying something that I'm not sure will work. Right? You've just removed the best aspect of that game with this update. Like, how difficult is it? Just remove the limit. Remove it. Right? Put a restart button on. Make it like the normal parts of the game where you just come out. If it doesn't work, come out, try something new because that's the best bit about it. Right? It's honestly right. It shouldn't be this difficult to get through to the devs, right? And the main problem you have, please just take this on board, right? The main problem you have is that you clearly do not have someone who intrinsically understands your game and understands how your players play your game. Because if you did have that person on board, when you put these changes in, they would turn around and say, "Oh, hang on a minute, wait. Have you actually thought how this is going to affect the players? Have you actually thought, like, is this what the players want?" You don't have that person. Clearly, you do not have that person in your team who is capable of doing that and capable of who has the insight to pick up on these things. You also don't have someone who is capable of picking up the number of bugs. Like how much content are you releasing that is bugged, right? That anyone who plays the game and tested it would have picked it up. Right? It's just constant. Right. This is why we're getting frustrated. We've had so many big players who leave, sorry, who didn't leave because they got bored of the game. They left because they were pissed off at the updates. Right? Players like Deeds, players like Entei, frustrated at the bugs, constant bugs that should have been caught in testing, right? That we are happy, we are, we would be happy to test for these things, right? You don't give that option to us, right? There are so many players who are not active anymore who still have access to test server. You clearly don't keep a review of who is actively on your test server to revoke that, or to at least say, look, you need to be more active, or we're going to give it to somebody else, right? And you're so kind of caught up in looking at the metrics, right? Of you're looking at the numbers and thinking that that's a true representation of your game. Look, I get it, right? In business, it's so important that you do look at your KPIs, your key performance indicators, right? You look at these things, these metrics to guide your business plan going forward, and you use them to kind of formulate a plan, right? You formulate your business plan with these numbers. Really important, right? But that is not the only thing that dictates this game. Your player kind of engagement is really important, right? These players, especially your whales and your krakens, right? These are the type of people who will spend, spend until they're done, and then they will stop. It's not slowly coming down. They will just leave, right? And they're the people who are funding your game, right? So if it's already feeling like we're nearing that point of no return. That's the vibe that I'm getting across the board of so many top players, and it's the fact that you almost seem oblivious to it. And when they start dropping off and the competition drops off near the top, that's when the game. I've seen it in so many games, and you need to act fast. Forget this. We're gonna watch for a couple of months and see how it goes. We stood by you in some of the game's toughest moments, like when the whole incident happened with the Apple updates. We stood by you, right? But we're done waiting now. We're done waiting, right? It's in a couple change making changes in a couple of months is not good enough. They need to happen now. They need to happen soon, like imminent, right? These changes that you're trying to put in with the limits on the keystones, the two tries per trial, that kind of shit needs to go. It needs to go, and it needs to go ASAP. None of this we're gonna see 2 weeks because you're gonna lose players, and I'm talking your biggest players, right? Look, I would love to hear how you guys are feeling as well. I I don't want it to be this. I didn't want the video to be this long, but the reason I made this video, or I'm making this video, and the reason I'm sure that people are watching this video, and the reason you watch um CC videos in general, it's because people are passionate about the game and want the game to succeed, sorry. But there's only so much we can take, right? And so I keep telling myself, it's a game. Why are you getting worked up? Right? But when you spend time and money on something that you're passionate about, you do get worked up when you feel like you're not being listened to. And when you feel like the people making the game have lost touch of what made the game special and how the players are feeling. It's and then we talk about like rewards, like how the rewards in these end game chests and like the soul stones, and you watch the dev interview with like Fastidious, with Destined, with Susie, and you're kind of just like you th- you put a soul stone pity in, but clearly you didn't really put one in because people have gone months without getting one, right? So it's just shit like that. It's like I'm man, like I said at the start, right? I'm honestly hanging by a thread, and so are so many of my guildmates, and so many other top players. So yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Comment below. Feel free to message me on Discord. I'll always try and reply. But until the next video, guys, I've been Zephyros. Stay blessed.